Okay, so you want to build a locally ran scraper personalization tool. Everything runs locally, never pay for API subscriptions again. All right, check it out. Here's how it works. This bad boy is set up within a Docker container. All right, so what you're going to have is you're going to be able to make API requests to a locally ran server that you will be hosting. And I'm going to show you how to set up to scrape an entire website, get all the information, and then feed it into an AI agent right here. Um, Feed it into an agent just like this that is also running locally. Oh, llama, baby. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Now, these guys over at self-hosted.aistarterkit.com on GitHub is where I got mine set up. So what we're going to do is you're going to want to download this first. What does that look like? For your Apple Silicon, you're just going to want to come here and set this up. So we're going to copy this command here into our terminal. It already exists. So we're not going to be able to shoot what you get that it's gonna put it into this, it's gonna put it in. And what you're gonna have is run that command git clone, you just copy it in there. And then what you're gonna have is you're gonna have um, this setup right here. It'll create a new file and you'll have go into that file by doing I'm on a Mac, so you just do change directory, self-hosted AI starter kit, jump on in there, and this is the file that we are looking for. Okay, before you run these other commands, we need to get the Docker file set up. So save this one too. We'll do this one. We'll do this one after this next step. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do whatever text editor you like. So you can use Nano on Mac. I use Sublime Text because it's the best. I mean, not the best. I don't know, I just like it. Okay. And this is the Docker file. So when you go to set up the Docker file, this is what's gonna pull all the stuff. Okay. So what you're gonna notice here first is this section right here. So you're going to want to copy this in right here, just like this. Now, what I'll do is that this will be linked to my school community. So if you want access to this exact Docker file, which also has the Olama set up in it, you'll be able to just copy this bad boy, paste it in there, and rock and roll. There are no APIs. There are no API keys in this. Next thing you're going to want to set up is this right here. Handy so your workflows can crawl for AI. This is important. This is the URL that we are going to use to be able to call our scraping calls. Okay, so you get that set up in there. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is set up Olama. Now we've already got Olama. We've already got Olama set up, but before you run this, um, actually. So once you have that set up, you should be all good to go. Also note you'll have Olama set up in here too, but we're going to set that up in a different way. We're not going to build it inside of the Docker container because if we build it inside of the container, we're limiting its resources in terms of RAM, processing power, and all that. We don't want to do that. We want it to be able to use the entire brute force of your machine, especially if you're on something smaller. I have a Mac Studio. It's got 36 gigs of RAM. It's got the top chip in it. It crushes. So I want to be able to use all of that RAM to run the largest, best models I can. Okay. So take note of that. Honestly, just copy this file and put it in. We can also even create, now that I notice up here, we can even create our own storage for crawling. We could do that. In this case, I don't have that set up, but if you wanted to, you could turn that on. Okay, anything else we need to cover in here? Looks good. Then what we'll do is we'll come back to this and then we'll do the env file that I mentioned in this setup. So come here, we're going to do the copy the env file, and this is where you'll set up your secrets. This is where you would run like API keys, those sorts of things. For what we're doing, you're not going to need to mess with that, but you still have to do this step. So still do this, but we're not going to need it. Yeah. But let's take a look at it anyways while we're here. So cat.env.x. This is what it looks like. Docker, while you're still in the file, right here, while you're still in the file, Docker compose. Then what it's going to do is it's going to go pull everything, grab, build everything here. It's going to go pull it, and it's going to build this. All right. So what do you have? You have your N8N, you have your crawl for AI, and you have some database stuff. All right. Now that we have that set up, now we're going to go configure Ollama. Ollama is legit. What I like to do is we could just step out. Step out. We could do, we're going to actually go to the website and we're just going to download Ollama. Okay. Go to Ollama. Ollama. Don't run it in Docker. Okay. Just, you can. I don't recommend doing it because, like you can see here, this container is limited. The container memory use is only limited to 15 gigs, where my computer itself has 36 gigs. Okay. It has access to all the processing power, but when you're running LLMs, you need memory. Okay. So, especially if you're on a Mac, don't run Ollama in Docker. All right. That's my PSA to you. So go ahead, download for whichever service you're on. Come on Mac, download that bad boy. And then what you'll have is Ollama in your terminal. And this is where you'll be able to pull different models of whatever you want. Most importantly, though, is let's see what I have installed. Ollama Uncensored, ChatGPT OSS 20 billion, and then I have Ollama, this one. So if you also wanted to just chat with them here, you can by running this command. Run. Cool. And then you can even chat with it. Hello there, local AI model. Boom. Ollama stop. 3.1. Go. All right. So good to go. Ollama's installed. You can even chat with it in here. All right. On to the next. Next step is setting up your N8N. So what you're going to want to do in your N8N is set up your Ollama. So what you're going to want to do is create a new service, okay? A new credential, Ollama service. You'll go, yeah, this one. And you're going to copy this. So create the account. It's pretty straightforward to make these credentials in the model. This is where you would create the account. So you can create a new credential. So in this case, what you'll do is you'll go create a new credential. If you ever want to see your credentials, you can bounce here, excuse me, and copy this base URL. Now, this is all local. There's no API. Set that up, bam. Now you can run local models. So if you ever want to pull more models, you just go to your terminal, and you can do Ollama pull and then the name of the model. So you could go to Ollama's website if you want to see what they have. Okay, there's ChatGPT OSS, DeepSeek, Gemma. DeepSeek R1's pretty good. What sizes do we have? That thing's Mac Daddy. Holy moly. 70 billion. Crazy talk. Crazy talk. 32. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. This is what you do. You don't want to do run, you do pull. Okay? And that's how you can pull in new models. All right? Then when you're in your N8N here and you want to Ollama chat models, you'll have all of your models listed right here. Okay, dope. So now that you have your local LLM set up, now let's set up the crawler. So when you go to do the Docker Compose up, what you'll notice is you'll have now crawl for AI within your own setup here, within the container. This means you don't have to. This means you don't have to go to You don't have to go between different containers to get access to it. And this is going to be the tool that does all your scraping, kind of like Firecrawl or Optify Scraper or something like that. This one's mainly for websites. All right. So it's even got its own website that you'll be able to go to and then here specifically in the playground is this is where you'll figure out how to build your requests. Okay. Um, because you'll be sending API requests to search a specific website. So in this case, what you could do is you put in the website an example of website you want to do. This is my website, amplifyaisolutions.com. All right. And when you run it, set it up for crawl. You'll run it. It'll process. Bam, there it is. And it actually went out and scraped and scraped and scraped. And here you get the response. Here's a response and everything, just like that. Of my website. My website's pretty basic, so there's not really a whole lot on it. I can show that to you too. Yeah. So this is it. Pretty basic. All right. So there's all the information on it. Like I said, there's not a whole lot in there. So this is perfect as an example. But what you're going to want to do is take this command right here, which would be here. This is your JSON body that you will be able to put into your HTTP request. Or what you could do is you could copy this once you've kind of figured out how you like it, um, figure out what that piece looks like. You can take this, copy it, and put in a new HTTP request node. Import from curl. Boom. So here's an HTTP request for crawl, crawl for AI, just like that. Okay. Now, excuse me. So what you're going to want to do now is this is good for getting started, but it's not going to get you what you want when it comes to scraping big time. So once you set that up like this, you'll want to set it all up just like this. Remember that URL that we grabbed initially? Here it is. Okay. Then what you're going to want to do is there's no authentication. And then here's the JSON body. So this is the one that I use. This is the one that I would recommend if you're just scraping websites or something. This is what it looks. Yeah, pardon me. This is the one. It'll go 2 pages deep. All you'll need to do is just change what your JSON uh, variable is here, and you'll be good to go. And then you'll get some default mark. You'll get the markdown, everything. So let me show you how it works. So once that's set up, and you have something like this, I'll also put this down into. This is just a basic web scraper. Or this is a basic personalization tool that you can use that runs all locally, set up with all the requests. So now it's going to go scrape. All right, boom, that's done. Got the scrape. So as we can see, here's all the data. Let's run it. I like that. So here's the entire scrape. What you're going to want to do here is when you're doing the personalization is you're going to want the markdown. So let's see if we can't just, yeah, we just got to scroll to the bottom. Sorry. Your life. You get a lot of information. So markdown. Here's your markdown, the raw markdown, markdown with citations, reference markdown, all of that. And what you do is you take, I use the raw markdown and feed that into my prompt. Now I'm running the ChatGPT OSS model, open source software model. And it's about a, what is it, 30 bill, 20 billion parameter model. Um, okay, got it. One of the problems that I did is I had too much crap in my prompt. Like I had lots of these because there's multiple different markdowns. I had 3 of them, and it was not doing the structured output. So besides that, I fixed it. But what you'll see here is it'll go crawl the website and everything just like that. It'll use the local Olama model, parse the output, and then you get everything that you need to then go run into a spreadsheet. Now, so I'm clicking on this. Let's see how we did. So this says Love CeeLo's coding, CeeLo's coatings, hand painted stairwell transformation. Also a fan of CeeLo coatings, roof painting precision. Also want to run something by you. I checked out your website quite a bit. I know that CeeLo coatings focus on detailed craftsmanship is important to you guys, assuming it's given the focus on premium paint quality. So that's just a pretty basic email, icebreaker. I think the prompt needs a little bit more tweaking to make that better because it says CeeLo coatings too many dang times. But nonetheless, that's a topic for another video. But that is how you run a local personalization tool, scraping, models, all of it with N8N. If you like it, you can go find all of the prompts. I'll leave this workflow. You'll get the JSON workflow that we looked at. You'll get the curl command for the crawl for AI. You'll get the Docker compose file as well. So all you got to do is follow the steps, plug in all this stuff, and you will have your own locally running system. Now, one thing I will mention, and I've gotten a lot of comments that say, "Oh, you're going to get rate limited. Oh, you're going to get rate limited." Blah 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 blah. Well, let me tell you something. I've ran this thousands of times, thousands. Like let it just run for days, 14 hours. Okay, that's not days, but you get the point. A long time. And where it's set up at my office or at my house, I don't run into those problems because I put a delay in between when it's querying. So without that, it doesn't seem to really be an issue. And the other thing is it sets up a browser and goes to that website. So it acts like a user. You get what I'm saying? So when you set up from these really nice IP addresses, either your office or your house IP address, you act like you're an actual user. So you don't get shut down from either a rate limiting or the internet thinking you're a bot from like Cloudflare or Google or something like that. I personally haven't ran into that problem. That might change in the future. I don't know, but I'm currently doing this. I'm not running into that issue. So if you like it, go join my school community. I got a lot more about this type of stuff and hope to see you there. Rock and roll.